Wasteland Rock by OTE. Oh, what a pleasure. Nah, I don't know about y'all, but I've just about been working up a sweat over this way. Hunting all day long, and not only I not snagged me a buck yet, but they seem all jumpy. More than usual. You notice that, y'all out there? It's like they'd sooner leap off a ravine than come on in my lovely abode and accept my hospitality. Still, looking at 'em, these ain't Texan deer, and, well, we can't blame 'em for not knowing the etiquette around these here parts. Hold on now, listeners. That's one of my puppies there. That's the new litter. Now, how'd you get out of your kennel, little fella? Here, not to worry. I'll get you right back on in there.
Es un día hermoso aquí, y solo podemos esperar que todos estén disfrutando del calor. Pero hay un serio aviso. Se debe evitar el área alrededor justo al norte del Parque Nacional Big Bend. Se nos ha informado sobre los rumores de que hay elementos dirigidos a grupos pequeños y a viajeros aislados.
Billete de lotería.
Aquellos que probablemente sean indocumentados. También puede haber una mayor presencia federal en el área en general. Dejando a un lado los rumores, los oficiales dicen que la búsqueda de los Miller, una joven familia estadounidense que desapareció cerca, ha sido cancelada. Las autoridades dijeron que ha pasado cerca de un mes y que las posibilidades de que sean encontrados son casi nulas. Aunque la búsqueda de los Miller se canceló oficialmente, las comunidades del otro lado de la frontera están inconformes todavía. No se puede confiar en las excusas de las autoridades federales. Algo está pasando, algo inquietante, y la historia muestra que nosotros...
The Apocalypse Players present Highway of Blood, a Call of Cthulhu scenario by Alex Guillotte, Ian Christiansen, and Davae Breon Jaxson. With Dan Wheeler as Quincy J. Lafitte, Dominic Allen as Edward Ed Mooney, Joseph Chance as Beverley Jack Carstairs, and Danann McAleer as the Keeper of Arcane Law. This is based on a true story. Part 8. Abattoir Drift.
The pickup truck suddenly seems to get a boost of speed from somewhere, and you see there's two people in it, and you see the guy with the bolt in his head. He sort of puts his arm out, gets up, and just like pulls himself out onto the top of the car, and he's just sort of sat there rocking, sort of hanging out the window, this looks like he's trying to reach you, and you see the person who's driving it still underneath seem to be trying to pass him something out of the window. Could you do me a drive roll, Ed, if you're just looking to like stay where you are, or you can attempt...
Well, I think now's the time to slam the brakes on.
Okay.
You're going to do it.
So, as it stands, the motorbike is behind you, but it has come out slightly to the left as if it wants to do something. So it's not directly behind you. So in terms of a manoeuvre, if you were trying to do a slamming on the brakes, as it were, I'd have to make a hard drive check anyway. So actually, but you could do it now, but I would reduce my thing to a normal drive check to avoid it.
Okay.
If that seems fair. As in, normally, if I was directly behind you.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I'd see you in the wing mirror, so I just pull out. I just pull out slightly before I did it.
Great. All right, do that then. I think that counts as a manoeuvre. That's fair. That's complex and simple enough at the same time. So you do that, and he. Let's see how the manoeuvre goes.
What do I need to roll? Just my drive?
So slamming the brakes. Yeah. You can basically roll your drive. See how it goes.
Drive check.
Yeah. I've got to try and avoid you, basically.
Oh, right, so I don't need to roll.
Yeah, you've got to do a hard drive.
You've got to roll to, like, make sure you don't,
that says the pursuing driver.
Oh, yeah, no, good point.
Yeah. I was sort of making you do a drive roll every round anyway. That's what I was doing for the others.
Well, I think you have to
if you gain speed. But if you're not trying to gain speed, that's fine.
Oh, fine.
Okay, so describe to me how you approach this manoeuvre.
I glance in the wing mirror and see that he's pulled out slightly, so I drift across, and then as soon as I'm just in front of him, I slam the brakes on real hard, and just before I do, I probably say, "Brace!"
Great.
Just as Carstairs is carefully tipping the last bit of gunpowder.
Yeah, exactly, of course, yeah.
Right, okay. Well, he got a regular success but not a hard success, so as you slam, you see him panic, realising he's got the canyon this side, rocks that side, and you slam it on, and he tries to go the other way. He tries to basically swerve, towards the rocks, but the backhand side of him slams into the back of your car, and you see him sort of tumble off his bike into the shrub. Looks like a bad hit that he's taken. It is certainly on his vehicle, but you've stopped for a second doing that, So assuming you pull away again, I will say the other cars gain a length towards you, but you've gotten rid of him.
And I shout out the window, "Kiss my grits!"
I come flying into the front of the car.
Yeah, because no warning whatsoever.
There's enough warning, but I just fly and I go, "Jesus, Marine, who taught you to drive like this?" And I giggle.
My mother.
Never had a bad word to say about it. I'm turning into Texas.
I grabbed hold of the sunroof with both hands, and as a result, dropped the shotgun.
Yeah, and what you don't realise is the window in it was broken, and there's just a bit there. And as you hit the front, you just get chopped in half. Your torso slides off the car.
Horrible.
No, obviously not. But you brace yourself. I don't think you need to roll anything for that. I say you were both prepared enough.
But I think probably it means that I can't take an action.
Not in terms of shooting, but I'd say if you wanted to duck down out of the line of fire yourself, that would be acceptable, something along those lines. You don't have to, you can stay up there if you want, and Jack, you've got an action as well.
Stay up there.
Cool.
If it's while I'm up there, maybe I could do a passenger assistance. I could do a spot hidden to see if there's any obstacles up front.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. See if there's just any obstacles in general. Yeah. Lovely.
That, my friends, is an extreme success on my spot hidden.
Oh, is it now? Okay.
We're coming out with some good rolls at this stage of the evening.
Yeah. I think with an extreme success, I've got to give you this, that you say in about, I don't know how we're wording it, in maybe 10 lengths, let's say, 8 to 10 lengths, you see just the arc.
The Covenant.
As you're looking ahead, you do see the arc of the canyon sort of sweep slightly, and you get the impression that there's going to be a very sharp turn, but there's no, warning signs or anything.
In that case.
So with the extreme success, you see that very far ahead.
I yell down. Sharp turn coming up, Mooney. Watch out, there's a sharp turn. Which way is it turning?
Was it left, did you say?
Left, yeah.
Sharp turn to the left.
It's like rally driving.
How many car lengths are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know in car lengths, but in, if we were to think about this in terms of sort of movement turns, maybe 8 to 10.
Mad world.
I don't know what your mother did, but She must have been a hell of a driver.
She drove tanks in Nam.
She was one of those, was she? Women's Auxiliary Cavalry Division. Yeah, I know. I heard all about them from my grandmother.
So,
I'm going to, for my turn, I'm going to ready a weapon, which will involve reloading the shotgun.
The one that you've got
so it's
with
now
one shot left.
Both barrels.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is my own makeshift bullets. So I think maybe with 4, I'm going to keep them. And maybe I say that too. I say, hey, I fashioned a couple more of these cartridges down here, Lafitte. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this pig gun. You keep that single shot.
Sure thing.
Are any of you looking in the mirrors? Obviously, there's no left-hand mirror, wing mirror anymore. But are any of you looking behind as this happens?
I'm assuming the driver. I'm assuming the driver gets to do that, but maybe not. No, keeping on the road is.
And well, Quincy's still facing backwards, so I'll describe to anyone who's looking in a mirror or back what you see is the truck that had gone into the fire, that had disappeared, has appeared again on the horizon, although it's very blackened, and there seems to be a shape hanging out of one of the windows that looks suspiciously like a body. Meanwhile, the pickup truck has closed another 2 lengths in front towards you, and this is the one with Seth. Oh, just told you his name, but I think you'd sort of had a clue towards that already.
Say hello to Seth is what you'd said. I was already suspicious.
Yeah, but he's sort of sat still, rocking on the front with just his hand gripping to the side window. And as you watch, he gets passed up what looks like a sort of like a blunderbuss, I guess. And he's still got very dead eyes, but there's something in the way he's just rocking backwards and forwards in this high speed. He's got no hair, and now that he's closer, you see that it is this bolt going through the front of his head, and it almost looks like you can see scarring across a lot of his head. It looks like someone's made a botched attempt to keep his fucking head together, basically.
Ooh,
and you maybe think back to like legends. Maybe you visited the Jorvik Viking Museum at some point and saw the skeleton of someone like Eric Bloodaxe, who showed in the skeleton that after a huge axe wound to the head, the bone had started to heal back again, and that old warriors, especially huge mental warriors, could sometimes survive awful things, and that's what sort of runs through your head as you see this blank-eyed, bald-headed
warriors never die
monster of a man slowly raising a blunderbuss towards you.
Oh god, shit.
And that's their movements for the moment. One of the cars hasn't caught up at all, but the other 2 are
readying. Okay.
Yeah. Ed, any ideas, or do you just want to try and gain some distance?
Oh, maybe I should kick up some gravel as a stunt. Maybe that will help. So this has the effect of blinding the enemy for a turn, giving them a penalty die on attacks and drive checks to avoid hazards. So this could work. I suddenly stomp the gas, kicking up a cloud of dirt and gravel. That's what I do. Or try.
So, sorry, which one was that? This was...
kick up gravel.
Yes. So, driver suddenly stomps on the gas, kicking up a cloud of dirt and gravel, blinds the enemy for that turn, giving them a penalty die on attacks and drive checks to avoid hazards. Lovely. Well, they are the pickup is within reach of you doing that. So, I'd say it's sort of, you don't have to brake as sharply as you did when you slammed on the brakes, but that's sort of how you do it, right? You stamp on the gas. Great.
Probably
so
do a little swerve to sort of.
Yeah. So you do that, and this huge cloud. You just see this huge cloud come up behind you, and the car disappears. The truck behind you disappears for a moment. They have rolled an excellent success on their drive, unfortunately, but as it reappears through the cloud, you realise you might have saved yourself at least a turn, because Seth's face is just completely like orange with dirt, including his eyes, which he doesn't seem to be blinking.
Horrifying.
And there's just like, you just see like lines from these sort of matted orange eyes as tears sort of streak back over his head just from the speed. But he just seems to be still rocking. But he's lowered the gun slightly.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Dex order.
Oh god.
I'm a bit confused as to whether does Mooney never get to.
I think when he's
doing
I would say while he's making these stunts like kicking up gravel or slamming the brakes, that counts as the action. Whereas if all you want to do is maintain your current speed, Mooney, you can of course try something
else,
probably with a penalty die, but if that makes sense. But Jack and Quincy, you still have a turn.
I'd definitely like to take a shot at this guy.
Yeah, cool. While he's blinded.
My dex is 85, by the way, so I guess
You're very fast, aren't you? Yeah,
shockingly fast.
Oh,
So I
okay.
guess I do go
Nice.
before Jack. So
I'm 70.
again, you're pretty speedy as well. So
Both pretty good.
I am
really
gonna miss,
fast.
I'm going to miss again, but I'm,
Yeah.
So I guess another penalty die, right? Because it's
Yeah, you're not taking a turn to aim, so I'd say, yeah.
Oh no good. No.
But you fire and it just
Fire.
goes.
I mean, I'm kind of aware.
slightly wild.
that just basically fire. It's almost like covering fire, right? Like just if I keep shooting, then
Yeah. I
No
mean,
intent.
I would say that, well, we'll see how the next round of movement goes. They're about one away from you being in range to try and do something more specific, like shoot out a tyre or sort of try and ram them, like stop into them. So as your shot goes wild, he doesn't flinch whatsoever. Jack, sorry, I didn't let you do your...
I'm on 70, so and if I'm quicker than those guys following, does that...
well, he's lost his turn, Seth, because
of course,
being blinded by the dust. And the other guy's driving, and the rest aren't in
So if they're
shooting distance.
So next turn they might be able to do something more interesting, but I think I might be faster than, so I'm going to ready the shot.
Great.
that's a smart thing to do, isn't it?
Well, also I've got a better chance of doing it, potentially, so... And also maybe I'm a little bit nervous in that moment. I don't know if I can just flick my eyes around as I'm readying, as I'm leaning out of the window, just looking off the...
I'd say you don't have to blindly fire over your shoulder. You can certainly turn and fire,
But
you just don't have time to aim.
Yeah, in that sense,
As it were.
it's more about sort of getting into a position to shoot, rather than... And sort of trying to hold it, rather than just going...
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
You'll still be getting the penalty die because of the
course,
movement,
but do I get the bonus die of the aim? So they cancel each other out or not?
I think you get that, but only if you spend a turn aiming, which is what you're suggesting you do, right?
Yeah.
So you can do that and then fire.
In which case, that is my total focus. But I wanted to be able to see whether I could see any grey, weird, wide mouth thing.
Yeah, I know you did.
Don't look for them.
Let's not look for them. I'm just scared of them.
Yeah, the silvery freaks. Okay.
Good indie band.
The silvery freaks, That burnt out truck is still fucking hovering, but it's not doing particularly well.
The title of their first album.
I was about to say that burnout truck, great track.
The other car is maintaining its speed, but it hasn't caught any. Oh, and the pickup truck comes a length closer, and as it does, you see Seth sort of blink once, very slowly, and open his eyes like he sort of does a silent scream and sort of wipes this caked mud along his head. It looks a bit like wall paint from where the sort of eyes have been watering and the orange mud has kicked up.
What is he?
And he raises his gun.
Something more than man, and less than human.
And he leans in on his knee, but he doesn't.
On the fucking top of the fucking goddamn truck. He leaned on one knee.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's off his fucking chump.
Damn it, tell. Oh God.
Yeah. If his eyes weren't so dead, you'd almost say he was enjoying himself.
That's a bit like our keeper, eh?
Okay.
Let's not fuck this up, guys.
Oh, we're fucked.
No.
That's not. So,
What can you do anything, Dominic?
That's boring, but I kind of think you should do the same thing again.
if you want to try and kick up dust, yeah, I mean, feel free. You're not going to gain much distance, but I mean, that might be a loser's game anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Just keep doing it.
So are you kicking up gravel again?
That's what I do. Oh, that's a fail. But I could spend the luck. It's only 4 points over. Is it going to fuck me if I let that fail?
I guess that means we're closer for the shot, but it means they're closer for the shot as well.
And they're close enough for the shot anyway, by the sound of things.
Oh no, I'm going to spend the luck.
Yes.
Yeah. If you succeed on this, if you spend the luck to succeed on this movement, you will probably blind them again, which means they'll get a penalty.
But they'll get a penalty die because of the dust, right?
I think with only 4 luck, I think it's probably worth it.
I'd also remind you that Seth seemed to be aiming, so that might get cancelled out for him anyway.
Should spend the luck.
Because the bonus for aiming, the lack of a penalty for aiming, rather, it'll only be 1 penalty.
I've spent the luck. So it's a success, a regular success.
Great. So again, you rev ahead, and another big billowing cloud like fucking Darude sandstorm kicks up behind you. Yeah, this time as the car comes through, you can see it sort of swerving slightly. Seth actually seems slightly annoyed in this moment because he's lost his aim, and he sort of slaps his head a couple of times and starts just like rubbing the dust sort of into his eyes. And you see him sort of slide backwards along the roof of the truck, so he's sort of flat on it, and just like almost like a sniper level this thing over his wrist. So his eyes are, a lot lower, but he doesn't do anything else for the time being. So the other 2 cars, maintain speed. Okay, so the burnt out truck with the horrible shape leaning out the side is actually picking up a bit of speed. It's still the furthest away, but they seem to have recovered from whatever fire damage they've had, so they're still in the game, it seems. So you've properly lost 2 motorbikes and their drivers. You've got a very injured car.
And do they move
sort of between?
Do they move at
They've got different speed.
They move at that slightly heightened film frame rate. Popular with certain Australian directors, where they're sort of frantically moving up the dirt track.
Yeah.
All I can see is grinning teeth. Yeah, loads of grinning teeth and kind of.
Witness me, blood bag.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, awesome.
So shiny, so chrome. It's not that. Cut that.
Good noise.
It basically is that.
Well, that's exactly what I
But So the truck maintains speed even with the penalty die. So you're sort of in the same position, I guess. Quincy, you managed to hold your aim.
No, I didn't aim. I just took a shot.
No, you didn't, sorry. Whereas Jack, you were aiming. And I think even with the manoeuvre of kick up dust, you're still able to keep that aim. So Quincy, you can now either take a shot blindly or start holding aim.
Take a shot blindly again. I think Quincy is just literally...
Great.
Yeah, he's literally just pulling that trigger and hoping for the best. Oh no, that was one of my dice was an extreme success, but the penalty die, unfortunately, very nearly a fumble.
It's so stressful.
So no, it's just a
fail.
It goes very wide somehow at the last minute, but you're still there. You're still acting as a sort of, I guess you're like the flag bearer or drummer boy in the army, right? You're there like, we're not taking your shit.
Suppressing fire.
Firing randomly. Suppressing fire is a nicer way to put it. Jack, you have a chance now to take your shot if you'd like to.
42% chance.
And I'll say that you're at the distance now where you could try to do a specific aim rather than just because what is it that you're trying to aim for? The driver, the wheels, the car?
I was always thinking about shooting the guy on the top because he's got a fucking blunderbuss and that's scaring me. So I think this shot is that target. I'm only going to squeeze off one.
Okay.
And obviously, he moved back, which made it harder, which is why there's definitely no, it's just base chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we're too
really close now as well.
Base chance.
Base chance.
That is distressing. After all that,
I feel like one of us could die in this situation.
Oh yeah. Oh, very much so.
I feel like we're in the middle of the scenario.
I think you might.
I've just rolled a 74, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just too rich for my blood.
Oh no.
Yeah. Shit, man.
All those good rolls.
Could you fire off the other barrel? Oh, you didn't load it, or did you?
No, it's loaded. Fuck yeah, I could, couldn't I? I could.
So it's just deciding whether you want to fire one or.
I mean, I suppose essentially a split-second decision. No, I don't think he does.
Okay, but you can maintain your position.
Yeah, he misses. He's a scientist. He was thinking that he could, with one shot, make a difference, and he's learning fast.
Yeah.
But that is not the case when it's on the highway of blood. Sometimes you got to be.
It's even got a Clive Barker name.
Yeah.
Now, on this next round, I will warn you that Seth is aiming. I'm going to see if any of the other cars turn up. This is the next sort of round of vehicular. That's bad. They fall behind again. They stay where they are. And the pickup. They're rolling so well, the pickup, and it is the best model as well. But they stay where they are. They stay a length behind you. They don't
increase speed again.
Oh god!
I mean, if they got any closer, you'd basically be bumper to bumper, and you'd be looking into the oranges of his eyes. The oranges of his eyes.
Awesome.
Now, Dommy, do you want to try and put some distance between you and these guys, or
I feel like we should try, shouldn't we? They're that close.
Especially with that sharp turn coming up that you know about.
How far away from this sharp turn? With about half the distance from when Dan spotted it, right?
If my calculations are correct, I gave you 10. This one will be 4.
We've got plenty of time before the turn.
Yeah. So are you just doing a speed roll, try and put a point of...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Go for it.
It's great that we know about the turn.
Come on, baby.
That's useful. Good spot.
It is, genuinely, because it's automatically quite hard to see.
Good spot, Lafitte.
Nah?
Oh no, oh, his face.
That's a 71 on my 50.
Oh.
Frustrating.
Okay.
Can we push the roll?
So...
Of course we can.
Sorry, I don't necessarily want...
Why wouldn't you?
It's maybe a bit early in the chase for that. I'm just a bit nervous about this guy.
Is it? I mean, if you don't push it...
It's going to fucking fucking blunderbuss.
We're literally... Then we are bumper to bumper.
And it's a 1 in 2 chance.
I've like 50 is always my base odds for pushing. I like it. But...
So I think
fucking nerve-wracking.
The way I push it is... I believe
I said it.
I sort of... Given that the road probably has, the dunes of the sand at the side of the road and everything, it probably has a sort of natural kind of curve to it. I'm going to try and use that to build momentum by sort of banking up one and then skidding across the other side of the road and banking up the other to sort of...
Wow.
Love it.
Kind of like...
So like...
Slingshot us a bit faster.
Like, yeah. What's it called? Skeleton like bobsleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Great.
With this music playing, I feel like a god.
I rolled a 52. Horrendous.
Oh man.
Horrendous. That's so much worse than if it had been a fumble.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be like, well, psychologically, like, well, that's so far away. But I know it doesn't make a difference, but it's like, for fuck's sake.
So, I mean,
mocking me.
You do, as you sort of slalom slightly and try and affect this thing.
I flip.
Well, I'll tell you what happens is actually you see, as you're sort of trying to keep control of the back tyres and everything, and you're not used to this vehicle or doing this sort of thing, you do see a tiny figure sort of running ahead, and it just sort of shakes you, like it's just distracts your eye from the road. You see this sort of smiling mouth and these sort of pale silver eyes, and it's enough to make you basically miss one of the turns in on the slalom you've been doing. And so the car, basically the back end spins out slightly and round. And I'll say you don't stop completely, but you slow to pretty much a snail's pace.
What the hell was that?
And,
Sound facing the dunes!
And I'm just going to roll for Seth because he has managed to keep his aim. And on an extreme success, I'm afraid what happens is you slow to this crawl and you spin round. I think you're all and in that moment the driver manages to brake quite well, and Seth, you just see from his position on the roof lying down, he just fires this shot, and there's no sort of like muzzle flash or anything.
I'm afraid, Quincy, you sense this intake of breath, and then this pressurized blast comes aiming straight at your chest.
Can I dodge? Can I not God!
Is this a part of their... Is his dex higher than 85 then?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Horrified. I thought we had at least the edge on him. Speed-wise.
Yeah.
I will tell you what happens, and then we'll take a little mini break
For Dan to re-roll a character.
for therapy.
But can I not attempt to dodge?
So
You can't dodge bullets, can you?
you're out of the wind thing, and the car itself has been sort of failed a pushed roll, so you've been sort of spun out of joint.
You dive for...
So you can dive for cover is the only option, right? But he's aiming already, and he got an extreme success.
And he's faster than us.
Yeah. But if you want to, you see him basically, you see that it's, because you've slowed, you see that it's leveled at you, let's say. You see that it's aimed at you.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I certainly would try to dive for cover. Is that a dodge roll or
Okay,
a
great.
X roll?
Normally, you dive for cover, you roll your dodge, but it means that you lose your next action.
Well, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
But I might...
I'm tempted to give you a penalty die just because you're stuck in a sunroof, so unless you want to jump out of the car, I guess you could just fall through.
Exactly.
And that could count as a dive for cover. So is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I mean, anything, because obviously if he's rolled an extreme success, then he's going to kill me.
You need to roll an extreme.
Yeah.
You have to match it.
Yeah. But if I don't, then he's going to kill me, right? So...
Well, I mean, you don't know what this gun does.
Little flag comes out that says bang. Fires a beanbag at you.
I was going to say, it might be beanbag.
Might be beanbag.
Yeah, he seems
I'm
the
rolling
sort.
my dodge, and I need to roll an extreme success on my dodge.
Yeah.
How much luck have you got left?
What can go wrong?
How much luck have you got left?
Enough, not enough.
Enough, not enough.
If I spend all
As Hamlet once said.
as long as I get pretty much under 50, if I spend all my luck, I could succeed.
Cool.
I rolled an 11. Yes! And an extreme success on my dodge would be an 8. So I'm certainly going to spend 3 points of luck.
Okay. And you drop down. It doesn't hit you at all. You see it coming for you.
Whistles through my hair.
And actually, the fact that you drop down, it almost fucking hits you in the head, which could have been worse, I guess, although a chest shot at this range.
Yeah,
not ideal either.
Bad.
But you do manage to drop down into the thing. I feel like, no, I wasn't generous there. I was being mean in the first place, and you quite rightly pointed out that you should have an option. But I do feel like maybe it's a luck roll to see if you keep hold of the shotgun as you dive for cover.
Fair.
Or if you leave it up on the sunroof or sort
Yeah,
of.
that's fair. Well, that's an extreme... I mean, this is unlike me, but...
Yeah, he's turning it around. Wheeler's turning it around at the right time.
So
I
managed
You're
to
winning.
duck down. I keep my shotgun and my glasses stay on my face as well.
Great. Lovely.
Now encrusted with sand.
But I probably shit myself.
You have probably shit yourself.
What's that sour smell? We have narrative interest. Is it shot? Or is it...
What,
that he's fired? Is it...
Yeah, great
that
question.
he's got?
What whistles past my head? Is it a bullet? Is it...
Maybe...
I mean, it's too fucking fast to tell. I mean, it seems like a bullet or a projectile of some sort. It's certainly not like a crow.
No, it's not like... It's not shot. It's like a single... or is it...
It's very fast, I think.
Okay.
It could be shot at close up. Or it could be... Because it doesn't really look like a shotgun. It looks like a blunderbuss. So it could be a fucking brick or something.
Exactly. It could be anything.
Whatever the
nails.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it could be. You get the impression it could be something maybe
bones.
nastier than shot.
Sharpened bones.
And did it make the sound that you would expect that sort of gun to make?
The teeth of Cho-Cho.
I think because you were shitting yourself so loudly. No.
It was purely out of narrative interest.
It's hard to tell in that moment. I think.
Fair.
But you're pretty sure it's not just shot, because that's not a shotgun, so it's something else.
Listen, I'm alive. I don't care.
Remarkable in itself.
You're alive. You almost weren't for a second. Thank God you had the will to live for once.
I can't believe I did 2 dice rolls in quick succession. That's never happened to me before.
Yeah.
And we're yet to act.
Yes.
And we are still spun and skidded to a halt with them, bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Yes, you are yet to act.
So, what's going to happen now is maybe something mental. I'm not sure. It depends what I decide to do as one of the characters. But in this moment, you guys still have your actions. Dan, you don't, because you've just fallen through the sunroof.
You've just sacrificed yours.
But you've managed to cling onto the shotgun, so you've basically had a very successful near miss and managed to maintain one of the 2 weapons you have. The 2 immediate weapons, anyway.
I'm calling it a success.
I would. I definitely would. I didn't think it was going to be. Whereas Ed and Jack, you're still in the back seat with the other shotgun, which you still have one shell in, right?
Yep.
And Ed, you slowed right down to a pace, so you're basically like still bumper to bumper almost with this pickup truck. So it's up to you.
What the disco bumper to bumper. Wait a minute, where's my jumper? You know that one?
No, but it will be in the podcast. I'm going to put that track in.
Fucking hell.
And we'll get
Keep that in.
Copyright.
Keep that in.
It's got to be kept in. The last point of this turn is, Jack, that you get an action.
Shit, the bird. What I want to do is aim again, because I want that 42%. 21% chance of hitting. Oh.
Pretty bleak.
No, it's not 21%. It's not 21%. It's a penalty die, right? I think the sound of the shot coming over, he was trying to keep cool, and he's been thinking about these grey things with their wide smiles and weird silver eyes.
Yeah.
The silver.
Not knowing, of course, that Mooney just saw one himself.
No, he doesn't know that, but it's on his mind, because he almost wants to flick his eyes across to the side and see if he can see it. I'm imagining for some reason that I've gone over to the right-hand side. I think it's because then, if anything, try to outflank us, because we've got ravine on the...
So you've gone canyon side window.
No, other. I was thinking I'd gone the other side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Dust on the left. So turn back round again. Back right window.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Cool.
The driver. So penalty die. I squeezed the shot off. Last in the barrel.
Right.
So penalty die, it's a fail, but not by much, and a pass on the penalty die. 27 on the penalty die. So that's 47. So I'm going to spend the luck, which is 5 luck to be a regular success.
Okay, great. So you were aiming sort of for the windscreen?
I think I was still aiming at him, in truth.
Okay.
Because I hadn't changed, I hadn't declared that wasn't the case. And the fact that he fired...
I'll take that, because you decided only to take one shot before. So if you've stayed there aiming, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with that. So you hit. So basically what you see is his arm, which is on the side closest to you, sort of, you do see this sudden, like pink mist, I guess.
Yeah.
But you also realise that a cloud of sort of white, and you see him sort of hold his arm up and shake it, and there really doesn't seem to be much damage, and you get the distinct impression that what you're firing might not be proper shot.
Oh, so that my bullet hasn't been successful?
No, as in it's rock salt. So it's hit.
Right.
But from his reaction, having shot varmints and stuff before, you get the impression he's taken less damage than
because my shot is so the stuff that I was pouring, the stuff that I was pouring,
the one you took off the off the wall.
Oh, I see.
Cartridges and that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've just made the cartridge.
Well, I think maybe...
I thought this was the last cartridge that had been in the shotgun.
Let's say it was. Let's say I fired the freshly... Sadly, I missed with my own, which would have been possibly much more useful. But aren't you giving me a narrative clue here, Danann, where you're saying you were given a situation where you could take a shotgun off someone, but it was filled with rock salt?
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
And it did seem to damage that thing you hit earlier.
Well, that's true, yeah. Yeah.
But that was a very small thing, and you weren't exactly staying around to see what happened after you did.
Well, maybe they don't like rock salt.
That's also a possibility, and maybe that's why it's in the shotgun. Who knows? These are all ideas that might be flitting through your head.
Anyway, I fucking fired it now. But
either way, you see him flinch and then sort of check his own arm and then get back into position. But I mean, he's a tough motherfucker regardless, and he did.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. I don't think I touched him. God damn. I think the last... Are you okay? You look like you've shat yourself.
Yeah, how are you doing, Quincy?
I'm fine. I'm just sort of like reaching around in my head. I think I take my hat off, and maybe I see like peppered holes through the top of my hat.
Yeah.
I think I'm just a bit shaken up, really.
So you're moving a tiny bit, but you're because you're basically bumper to bumper with the pickup truck. There's not a huge deal you can do in terms of manoeuvres unless you just want to hammer it down and try and gain some ground.
In which case, let's try and make some distance. Let's get the hell out of here.
Nice.
Hold on to your buttholes.
A bit too late for that.
I say, and then move very slowly away in first gear. Like an old lady trying to get out of a Sainsbury's car park. I've rolled a 69 on my 50. I'm loath to push it again, given what that call was like.
I bet you are.
Shit, okay.
So the other two of you, as you realise this huge fucking juggernaut basically is behind you. This bolt-headed freak is still clinging to the roof with his weird war-painted mud face. You realise you're sort of not being able right now to push away, and you can see one of the cars coming in slightly closer behind that.
Are we literally bumper to bumper?
I'd say there's a couple of feet in it. Basically, you got so close by stopping, and they were going at such a speed that they had to basically brake. So at the moment, since you just failed your drive roll, you're not getting another length away. That's what I'm saying. You're still travelling at this point. But I'd say both cars are now going about 10 miles an hour. And gradually picking up speed, but it'll depend on the next drive roll that you all do, basically.
Okay.
But as it is, you're sort of chugging along. You're trying to pull away. You seem unable to. You can sense their focus is still on you. And you also know that left-hand turn is getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it this turn or anything, but...
I think I say, here, Jack, take this. And I throw him pass him the shotgun that still has at least 5 rounds in it. And I start rooting around. I climb into the back and start rooting around in my bag. And I say, Mooney, if we found ourselves even a little bit closer to that pickup behind us, it might not be the worst thing. I might have something I could use. It's a bit of a Hail Mary, but it might be worth it.
Well, if you're sure, I don't mind. What do you want me to do? Slam her in reverse? See what happens?
Just slow down a little. I don't want any sudden shock. Just want to get a little bit closer where I might be able to get something into the cab there, or pass something back, throw something. We're a little bit too far away. I wouldn't trust my aim.
All right, hold on.
I'll try and take down the windscreen, and I ready the weapon to do so.
That'd be perfect. That'd be absolutely perfect.
And I slow down.
So you slow slightly. Quincy, is there something specifically you're diving back to try and grab, or is it just that you're going to be rummaging for the next turn to try and...
Yeah, there's something very specific in my bag that I want to take out, yeah.
Thermonuclear device.
Okay, great. I'll say that's your turn as you're searching for it, if that's all right. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And therefore, Jack, yours is the next go.
So I'm readying the weapon, getting the new, well, not the new, but our original single-barrel shotgun.
Yes.
I'm leaning back out of my favourite window.
Yeah.
And essentially, if it's all right with you, therefore I'm sort of readying the weapon to aim, because I don't have to load it or anything.
Readying a weapon rather than a pot shot.
Yeah, I'm not.
Cool. And let's see what
the windscreen.
Seth does.
The windscreen.
It might be a terrible idea what I have planned.
We've got to try something.
Okay, so Seth doesn't fire. In fact, he sort of slings the bazooka thing. Not bazooka. The
blunderbuss.
What's the fucker called? The blunderbuss thing back into the... Slings his rocket launcher back into the thing. And he slides forwards.
I was worried that was going to be a rocket.
And slams twice on the side of the car, like the sort of ridge by the windscreen. And you see the sort of mechanism on the bonnet. You see the driver doing something, and you see the mechanism on the bonnet with the harpoon gun sort of raised slightly.
Fucking hell. Point blank with a harpoon gun.
And I think that's the next round to determine speed. Oh, the burning truck is catching up suddenly. Seems like the engine troubles might be over. The car behind the pickup truck is almost on par. That was a 4.
What?
And the pickup isn't trying to catch you up.
Steady.
But it's maintaining its speed. It's not got any faster. So, yeah.
We need to get rid of one of these fucking cars, don't we?
So now we're back to Ed and yourselves in the car as you see this mechanism of the harpoon come up, and one of the cars behind it couldn't get past the pickup to get closer to you if it wanted to, but it's sort of coming up nearer to the back of the pickup, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Quincy? They got a harpoon gun pointed right at us.
I know. Just trust me. You're gonna have to trust me. Hold it steady.
All right.
Steady as you can.
Hold it steady.
And Jack, shoot at that windscreen.
On it.
And technically, my dex is higher, but I imagine it's reasonable for me to cede my dex and allow Jack to take an action before me.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, if you're literally going after you, sir.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Like the windscreen being shot out would be a definite advantage to me.
Then I shall try and shoot it down.
But your turn can still be to try. Have you found the thing you were rooting around for?
Yes, I have.
Great.
So I'm keen to shoot this window out, and if he says that, I'll take the shot.
Great.
Fuck my life. Not as bad, but it's a 57. 57 on a 42. 8, 6, 15 luck. 15 luck.
How much are you on?
42.
I mean, I'm not going to advise you because you wouldn't. Why would you listen to a word I say? My instinct's always like it's sometimes worth saving luck for stuff that's out of your hands rather than stuff you're attempting.
Absolutely.
I might be wrong.
I agree. It's really tough because I feel like the plan. I've just consistently not rolled well, I'm afraid, tonight, gents.
No, I'm just trying to work. I'm trying to think about whether what I had planned would.
It's been perfect for me.
Would work if the windscreen wasn't shut out.
It would leave me with 27 luck. Shit, the bed. That's a lot, isn't it? It gives me not much by way of last chance saloons, but I think I will go mad quite soon again, so I'll be useless anyway. And I think 27 luck to kind of. What would you do, Dom? Phone a friend. I'm going to phone a friend.
I mean, maybe I need to tell you what I have in my hand. Maybe you see me pull out of the bag.
You've done a beautiful narrative mystery there, so we don't want to spoil that. You've preserved it so beautifully thus far. The comedy that I'm now starting is that you throw it, it bounces off, goes back into our car.
The hydrogen grenade that you've had in your bag the whole time that I didn't notice on your character sheet. Yeah,
I'm gonna call a friend, Danann, and I'm gonna ask world-renowned stage, TV, and TTRPG
Inyat's Beer Barn.
Luck Maestro.
Luck spender, Dominic Allen. Dominic Allen, what would you do in the situation where you've got 42 luck left? It's a 15 luck spend to hit a windscreen.
We've got no idea how far we are through this scenario. We might be right at the beginning, in the middle, near the end. We have no idea.
Dom loves spending luck. Joseph hates it.
I love spending it. I just hate getting it wrong for exactly the reason that Danann is saying. And they're going,
it's a big spend on something that should be fairly easy, smashing a window.
It's not the smallest target. It's not as hard as aiming for a tyre. That's a specific roll.
Or aiming for a woman
probably put out by
2 floors below you with your arse. You wouldn't spend it on that.
I mean, we're in deep now, but I might argue that if we're bumper to bumper, and you're aiming a shotgun at the car behind, you'd have to fumble to miss the windscreen, wouldn't you?
The rules lawyer makes a good point.
Well, what was...
I'm gonna...
Yes,
you know what?
This was...
You know what? That resolves it for me. I'm going to spend the luck.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've passed.
You've spent the luck.
I've spent the luck.
You going with it?
Yep. 46 damage? Or do you want body damage? Is that how this is going to work?
So, I'll tell you what. You shatter the windscreen, pops in. So you do shatter the windscreen. And were you aiming for the driver
of course.
as well?
I mean, obviously, yeah.
Of course,
You don't waste a shot at the windscreen to just go, I'll go for that top left corner because I know it'll break.
No.
Well,
So you hit. You spent the luck, you hit. Would you like to roll for damage?
Actually, roll damage. That's an excellent start, a 5 and a 6. Followed by a 4 and a 1. Not quite so good. 17.
Wow. Okay. So...
but obviously, I can imagine the glass essentially acts as armour, doesn't it? So,
like a point.
Yes.
Maybe like 1 point.
But I don't think much because it's glass, right? I mean, there aren't different armour...
And it is the 70s. My maths is bad there. That's 16, not 17. Sorry, 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 6 plus 4 is, 10, 16. So
it sounds like you converted your luck points into damage, which is a pretty good ratio.
That's not such a bad ratio.
Pretty good trade-off.
I mean, it is a shotgun, guys. It's always worth it.
I'm now thinking that maybe I don't even want to do the thing I was going to do.
Well, this changes everything, doesn't it? So let's see how we go.
Yeah.
See how we go.
See what's happened.
In terms of the glass operating as some form of armour.
I think you're right. I think it'd be like a point.
Great. So your shotgun blast, it tears apart the windscreen. And and it also tears apart the space between this guy's shoulder and neck. Because it doesn't really have room to, spread as much as you might like. Well, actually, this is probably better for your shot. But you hit him, and you see this sort of like splatter of red, which would hit the windscreen, but the windscreen's evaporated, so it just hits the sides. And his head like lolls over and does this horrible thing where it's sort of...
Yeah, there it is.
As he leans, the body stays where it is, and it just tears in the middle.
Ooh.
And the head just lolls down. You're pretty sure you've killed this guy.
Amazing.
Yeah. So the car's still sort of trundling along behind you, but the driver is basically fucked.
I think from that description, and I don't want to self-punish, but I think that is a sanity roll, because I've never killed anyone before.
That's a good point. You're an honest player.
Well, I just think,
I think that makes sense.
I think of Doug.
It's not nice.
And how many times he kept saying, Althea Montrose has never seen something like that before.
Yeah.
And I was so admiring of him for doing it. I mean, it didn't help us, did it? But...
And there's no poetry in this death.
Yeah, no.
You're going slow enough at this point that you see it all.
Horrific.
And there's no poetry to it. It's literally just meat pulling slowly apart, and this guy's eyes flickering.
Oh, great.
And his shoulder sort of juddering.
So let's see.
Hey, Carstairs. How do I talk again? Carstairs. Oh, hey, great shot. It's me, Dr. Montrose. No,
Who the hell are you? Get out of my head. Oh, God, have I failed already?
There's gold in them there hills. That's the one. I say, sounds like quite a good shot there, Carstairs. I won't turn and look myself, but it sounded pretty good.
Unfortunately, I think I probably am staring straight at it. I don't know whether I didn't actually do the damage, so I don't know whether that warrants a sanity roll on my behalf or not.
If you think it does, it'd probably be a lesser roll. If that makes sense.
I kind of think it doesn't, because I'm a man of science and I have some forensics. I have significant.
You've dissected some stuff.
I think I've seen dead bodies before and used my entomological knowledge.
And you've only got empathy for insects.
Huh?
You've only got empathy for insects.
Right. No, but I think I've used my entomological skill in the context of dead bodies before, so I don't think it's the first.
And as you say that, the legs start to appear through the wound in his neck. I'm joking, they don't. He turns inside out like the thing.
I'd love it. I think in which case at that moment I say, I pause with one hand like halfway out of my bag like this. You just see my hand, but you don't see what I'm holding. And I
You see the end of a massive dildo, and then he puts it back in.
It looks like something sort of round and maybe the size of
love eggs.
Well, who knows? Because you can only see the top of it, and then
an armillary sphere.
And then I look across and see this man eviscerated, and say, "Oh, well, that'll do it." And I put this thing back in my bag and zip it back up again. And I guess I don't do anything on my turn.
This is obviously 0 or 1, right? For loss. I mean, if I pass, it'll be fine, right? He says, "No, of course not. 71."
Leading the witness.
Jesus fucking Christ! Might have to change that die out. This is getting bad.
No, but I mean,
71
you're in a
or
moment
34.
of high.
So it's a fail.
Okay, so you do lose the point.
I mean, I might lose more than that, Danann. I was being naughty, as you know.
No, I think it's a point because of the high adrenaline of the moment.
It's one thing to see violence. It's another thing to kill a person and commit horrible violence. And I will be.
Would you like it to be more?
No, definitely not. I do not want to lead us astray.
No, but I heard what you said, and actually I think it makes sense. It may be that, like, if you ever get out of this, you lose more sanity looking back, but at the moment...
Would you like me to roll on your table for the bout of madness?
Oh, God.
Yeah!
He's definitely insane, isn't he? I'd forgotten that.
This is the problem.
Which is why I don't mind about him only losing one, because it's still fun.
It's bad. Here we go.
Yeah. I get to look benevolent and then still fuck everything up.
Oh, so it's a 3 and a 2 for the... a 3.
Well, Mr. Lafitte, could you pull the sheet up for me, please?
Oh dear.
Doesn't sound good.
Instant death.
Go on.
You don't want to be... at least we're not trapped in a confined space with this person.
Fuck.
Violence. A red mist descends on the investigator and they explode in a spree of uncontrolled violence and destruction directed at their surroundings, allies or foes alike, for 1d10 rounds.
Fuck!
Two rounds. 2 rounds is my best action.
Amazing.
At least he's not holding a shotgun.
But obviously I've just had my action, so that's not till next round, guys.
Yes.
Am I right?
We'll see what happens next time.
Christ.
Wow, don't roll a 3 on that table. Shit.
Yeah.
You right there, Carstairs? You gone awful quiet. I said it sounded like a good shot. Sounded like a good shot there, Carstairs. What's the matter with you? I said that'd do it, Jack. You've done a good job there. Don't worry.
So yeah, as this red mist descends, you see the violence that you yourself have caused, and it's almost like, well, I've got to continue then. I've got to create more of this meat.
So he's got 1 round to blow your brains out, Dan, and then 1 round to blow mine out.
Oh, there we go.
So the two of you, well, Quincy, maybe you're still half distracted by this sort of pulled pork carcass of a man, blood still jetting from the hole where his neck was, and also the wild eyes of Seth on the roof, gleaming at you like something reptilian. But Ed, I think as you desperately try and get the Chevy moving again, perhaps you do start to notice Beverley's face sort of straining, grimacing, turning a deep scarlet. His eyes roll and his body shudders, and he reaches for something.
Teatro de la Ciudad presenta a Carmen Salinas.
Dancing in the disco bumper. Wait a minute. Where's me jumper?
De diciembre, corta temporada, boletos en taquilla.
Where's me jumper?
Dulce, dulce, dulcecita, agri, 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 dulce.